For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you guys a bit of a review on a brand new tent from Outwell. So this here is the Outwell Belleville. So the Bellavia comes in a sort of a 5 or a 7, and it's basically a smart air system. So it's basically 5SA, 7SA. With me today I've got the 5, but essentially all the features I'm about to talk to you about is still the same with the 7, on just a bit of a larger scale. One thing to bear in mind also in terms of size-wise, there is kind of a poly-custom version of this, not in a smart air system, which is the Stone Lake. So you can check out that little video as well to get more different ideas. We're using a 5 for the Bellavia and then a 7 for the Stone Lake. So again, the sizes pretty much crossover there or thereabouts. So this kind of overtakes into new 2019 season against the Vermont 7SA. So it's kind of built on the same basis that you've got a smart air system, i.e. you've got one single point will actually inflate the whole of the tent itself. Now, different where the Vermont was back in the previous season was that you only really had one inflation point, which was located in the middle. This, on the other hand, has multiple inflation points as well. But the inflation points also work as deflation points as well. And it's a much better system. So it's basically it's their new advanced air system, something they ran with on a few tents back in 2018. And going forward, I can tell you one thing, by putting this thing up and packing this thing away myself, it makes a god-awful difference. So much easier to inflate because you can get more air in quicker. But more importantly, it's so much easier to deflate. One of my biggest bugbears with the Vermont 7SA used to be the fact that the holes for the taps were so small that as soon as you obviously opened it up, it would take ages for the air to come out. So that's not the case with this. It's a much bigger valve, which you can see here. So each one is done individually again. And like with the smart air system, you can actually isolate each individual valve, which is also changed as well going forward. Generally, like I said, you can check out our own Attwoolls pitching and packing video. It's just myself putting this very tent up. It took me no longer than, I think it's about 14-15 minutes, which even when you think of something this sizable, and because it's in 2 parts, one for the main body and then one for the canopy, that does add a little bit more time onto it. But then again, you've got 2 separate bags. The main body is in a nice big roller bag, and then the separate one, canopy, is just in a small bag. Just means that you're not necessarily chucking all the weight into one big bag, and you can be more versatile as well. And generally, you find it like we've packed it away into the one big roller bag, but necessarily we know that's not always the case. So having 2 bags, you've got more versatility and more kind of tolerance to get it back in. Generally, you've got a really good height interior to this, what I'll go over to in a second, but you've got this Gothic kind of arch system, and that allows you to give really good sort of interior height, especially in the foot grounds. So where obviously at the floor it's very sort of upright, that again doesn't feel not so much enclosed when we go inside. It uses sort of Outwell's embroidered fabric, so it's sort of their next level up from their sort of basic range, and it's 6,000 mil high head, so it's very waterproof itself. You've got like these sort of floating guy ropes, so it's actually kind of a 2-tone which matches really nicely to the smart grey, and just means that essentially it doesn't look so hideous, but you can see the main trip hazard points where they are. Like I say, you've got nice low level ventilation as well beneath the windows to get a good circulation there to help it sort of be quick and sort of make sort of help fight condensation on the inside of it, and that's below pretty much every single window itself. And on the sides you've also got a really nice mesh door as well to get, again, help with circulation. And one thing that's really apparent with this model is the amount of ventilation panels you've got. So every single pretty much door, from the front canopy door to the main living area door to the side doors, even to the bedroom doors, all have mesh. And that's kind of showing how much of a problem condensation really is, that you do need a good circulation of air, to the point they've actually a really nice big back panel mesh part at the back as well. One thing you can see also from the front is that you've got a door at the front here, which can be completely zipped up to obviously make it enclosed and kind of like a really nice sort of dry area. The ground sheet is supplied with the main canopy, but you've got this whole big mesh door here located here as well. And you can do kind of what I have here is roll the door back halfway or fully and really make use of that mesh part. So you can see, again, I'll just do that. Got a mesh door there to allow lots of circulation. So yet again, if it's kind of you're either abroad or something, or it's a warm summer, and you just want, you know, a good airflow, having sort of bugs and critters come in, that's where this range really works well. Not many other manufacturers will actually put a mesh door on the big front door without buying it as an add-on. So that's quite a nice sort of unique feature. What Outwell have really tried to do is necessarily keep the price point of the tent to make it something that's a bit more affordable. And basically to do that, what they've got to do is sort of strip back on all the kind of elaborate features. So when we have a look on the inside in a second, you can see they have sort of stripped away certain features, but sort of left the core and what you actually generally need in the tent itself. So let's go inside and have a look what that's like. So now we're inside the Belleville, you can kind of get a bit more of an understanding for certainly the layout, but also necessarily the size as well. So first thing you can see is actually a really nice generous depth of the canopy itself, which is ideal for putting some sort of cooking units out here, obviously removing the panel and sort of rolling it down towards the side and having a good circulation of air, and then having this sort of middle door between the living and sort of the canopy area completely shut. That way you've got a good circulation, and obviously the sort of carbon monoxide, if you're using a gas burner, can happily go away. One thing you also do benefit from is the fact that you've got pretty much beautiful crystal clear windows in a whole panel on the front. So again, in the sides and also the front door as such, beautiful nice sort of tinted window as well, so you get a bit of privacy when you want to, but still also allow light to come in. And that gives you a perfect sort of panoramic view of the campsite when you're on the inside of it as well. All have privacy curtains as well. So in the canopy area, like I said, where we're saving money a little bit to make it more affordable, you're talking toggle curtains. So it's just little toggle points that allow you to bring it halfway, or alternatively take it all the way down, roll it up, and there's a little retainer just on the bottom. So you can definitely kind of just a quick job on this anyway. Roll it away, and then just kind of keep it at bay. But you still got the same sort of versatility as you have there. But I mean, I think probably in the canopy area, it's not as essential that you have zips like you used to with the Vermont. One thing is also, you've got a separate zip-on canopy, so this part comes on here. So in theory, you could pitch the main body without the canopy. The only thing I would be aware of that essentially, if it is going to rain, then essentially these zips aren't watertight, nor these panels. So if it's a fair weather or something, you will, for drying purposes, which is quite a nice little thing, you just want to pitch the main body without pitching the canopy, you could literally peg four corners of it. There's a guy rope position on top as well, so that'll bring it forward and give it bracing. And it's kind of two separate air systems, so one for the main body and then one for the canopy, as you can see per our pitching video. In the main canopy, you've also got a hanging point for a lantern as well. It's down with Velcro tabs leading down, so you can actually have mains hook up and make this kind of, like I said, at home, away from home with that. With the dividing door, you've got kind of a little bit of play in the dividing door that it's not so much of a lip into it, but in theory you could probably lay that flat if you roll the door all the way back, so you haven't got that whole lip going into it. But the dividing door, you've got sort of two sections, so obviously one you can have open if you want to. Alternatively, again, you can sit this all the way back, open up, and then, like I said, have it as one continuous flow through from the bedrooms right all the way through to canopy. And in both parts here, you've got a really nice mesh panel as well. Yeah, again, talking about circulation to really help with that. But if you want the privacy, like I say, for cooking purposes, I think that's a really good way to go. But for the time being, let's just roll that back, just so you can get a bit of a better idea of the tent. And then there's toggle points located. Sort of there to kind of keep that as you want it. So stay, leave it there for the time being, bit of a mess. But when you come into the main sort of living area, like I said, on the 5 version, one in here, there's actually a really good depth, and I think it's obviously the same again with the 7. So you can really put sort of tables and chairs in here and play cards in the evening and not have to be in the way of everyone. But the joys of probably, I'd say the 5 is more of a comfy 4, and then the 7, I'd say, is more of a comfy 6. So that's where it sort of benefits, I think, seeing what level you want to go to. We will be displaying one of these at our indoor showrooms. You can always pop in and see it in the flesh. Depends on obviously the time of year, of course. But generally, in terms of smart air system, like I said, any point on the outside can pump the whole thing up. Now you've got isolation tap. So on the Vermont used to have like a physical tap with a kind of a plastic kind of piping. They've kind of got away with that really now. So they've moved forward, and what they've kind of done is there's little covers down here, but essentially you've got like a neoprene kind of piping itself. And what they use is like a little clip. So it's same kind of thing you get with like brake fluid, and you can actually just squeeze that, clamp that in, and you can get a little click. And what that's basically going to do is sort of pierce, sort of not pierce, but essentially hold the clasp bit nice and shut, and then every beam is individual. So you know, if God forbid you had an issue with one beam, you could actually isolate it all off, take it out, repair it. And the joys of this model as well is actually that you don't have to use it as a smart air system if you don't want to. You could, because you can inflate from every single beam. You can either have multiple people pumping the tent up, save one person, or you can use like an electric pump to do so. Or you said you can just go around doing each beam as you feel you're free. When you're talking in the main area, you've still got low-level ventilation, like we talked about in the main canopy beneath the windows. But in the main body here, you've got zip curtains in the main side panels. So you've got the ultimate of kind of versatility, where you can sort of do it up sort of halfway or such, or get full coverage in the side. And personally, I find them just a bit easier to roll away and pack away in that little bottom section. So in the main body, you have got that. Same sort of thing, you have a hanging point for a lantern positioned here. And yet again, same with little Velcro tabs leading down to actually the cable entry points inside of here. So you've got one either side, just located there. And same on the other side, so it doesn't matter which way your mower mains is coming in from, you can happily accommodate that. And yet again, same with the cable, you can put it down to wherever you want to. Two side doors are positioned either sort of adjacent to each other, and yet again, both with a really nice big ventilation panel, so same sort of thing, circulation, keep it going, obviously seal it up when you want to. Generally, there's not a rain-safe door on either of them, so if it is raining, you would have to use predominantly the front door, which I can't see being a problem anyway. Sleeping area, like I said at the back, it's with a 5, it's designed to be a sort of a 3 and a 2 berth. On a 7, it splits into 3 bedrooms, so you have essentially a 2, a 3 and a 2, with the 2 on the other side, left-hand side as we see it now, being a little bit larger as well. But one thing that's kind of a new thing really is they've got the ability of opening up all of the bedrooms and rolling it down to make it sort of, like I say, feel one sort of seamless walkway through, kind of open plan, if you will. So big ventilation panel behind the mesh, and this model is probably the only one in the range that you can actually zip it up when you want to. If you look at the other models, you can't actually do that. But what we'll do now, let's just show you that neat little new sort of storage system. It sort of looks like a little bag. So we want to, let's go this way with it. So you can unzip the front door pretty much all the way, and then located at the bottom of the inner bedroom is a little pocket. So I can just literally roll this up, and then albeit stuff it into the pocket located there, and then reposition the inner bedroom. So you are now talking a toggled divider between the sections now. Yet again, it's just kind of make the tent more of an attractive price point. But you still got a better generous depth. So on the Bellavia, you're still talking about 230 deep, which is very plentiful. So you should still be able to fit a sort of camp bed in here, or even a high-rise air bed. Like I said, with other models on the market, you can't actually do that. And you still got obviously nice storage pockets, okay, in the back of the bedroom, but also down low as well. So, you know, and also a little cord goes along the top of the back, so you can hang lanterns up there and take a little bit of, well, a little bit of weight off that as well. Generally, like I said, I see this more as a sort of either a very generous couple's tent, alternatively as a sort of small family but wants a bit more room to kind of roam around with. And like, again, the thing is, when you're chucking down a rain, you are situated whatever space you've got under cover. Goes to the level of actually having cable entry points into the inner bedrooms as well, so you can actually keep your phone charging next door to you, or if you want to check the time and that sort of stuff, it works well. And same on the other side, so both inner bedrooms have got that little point down the bottom. Other things to bear in mind as well is that the inner bedroom can be left in place all times. There's no need to take it down and back away every single time, so you can pitch this thing as one, like I said, as per our video. But I think generally it's kind of a compromise. It's not quite the over overstated things that Outwell have always been, but I do think in terms of the price point, it's definitely more attractive. And like I say, if you're a big fan of the smart air system, this is, in my opinion, a far improvement on that. I see personally probably the 7 being a better model than the 5, just because I think it orientates to more people. But generally, I think there's certainly more compromise probably with this than the Vermont of previous years. But I still see they've kept the more important stuff, but necessarily, you know, it's still kind of a luxury tent. It's not sort of like, you know, an entry level, because you've still got things like zip curtains, loads of mesh, deeper bedrooms, hanging point, smart air. So you've still got lots of features that, you know, have been in the Outwell collection for a while. But it'd be interesting to know what you think of the tent as well. So have a look in obviously the comments box below. Alternatively, check our website out for more in-depth details about it, as well as all the prices and deals we've got going on at the moment with sort of interest-free finance as well. But that kind of is our Attwoolls video review on the brand new Bellavia, the 5SA, and then the 7SA as well.